Hi everyone, and welcome back to the series where we solve data problems in both SQL and Pandas. This series includes only medium difficulty data problems, and today's challenge is to find monthly transactions. We have a table of transactions with the ID, country, state, amount, and the date when the transaction was taking place. We need to write a SQL query to find for each month and country. This already tells us we need to group by month and country, the number of transactions and their total amount, the number of approved transactions and their total amount. So we need to filter as well for only approved ones. For example, for December US, we have 2 transactions in total, only 1 approved. The total amount of those 2 transactions is 3,000. And the amount of that 1 approved transaction is 1,000. To check this, we can have a look at those 2 first lines, transactions from December. We have only 1 approved, which is 1,000, and the total amount of all 2 transactions is 2,000 plus 1,000, which is 3,000. In SQL, we write a select statement. As we already said, we group by month and country. We have a chance date column, which includes everything: year, month, and date. We need to format it in the way that we receive only the month. We use the function format. And then we group by country as well. Now we fill out the select statement. In the output, we have the month, so we just copy paste it and call it as month. Then we need to display country. And here's the aggregation section. We need to calculate all the transaction counts. As we already grouped by these 2 columns, we just need to count how many IDs are there in each group. Then we need to find how many each group has approved transactions, so it's an approved count. In order to calculate it dynamically, we will use the case statement, which is if-else in Python. In SQL, case when state equals approved, then we calculate 1, else we will add 0, which is nothing. And we have to end the case when statement. In order to dynamically calculate all these ones, we have to use the function sum. Next, we calculate the transactions total amount. These are all transactions within a group. For this, we just use the function sum and calculate amount from all rows that exist in one group. So we need the column amount. The last column we need to display is approved total amount. So we need to calculate the amount of only approved transactions within each group. We will also use the case when statement in order to calculate it dynamically. Case when state column equals approved, then we just take amount and we will calculate it later. Else we add 0 and we end the case statement, and with the sum function we calculate all approved amount within each group. Now let's run the query. We successfully solved this problem in SQL. Let's move on to Pandas. In Pandas, we first need to convert the transaction date column to a period string to create a new column month. So we take the transactions data frame, column chance date, and with the date to period function, we extract the month. Data type of this column will be string. And this is our new column, which we will call month. Now we need to create helper columns for conditional aggregates. Our first conditional masking will be whether the transaction is approved or not. We take the transactions data frame, the column state, and we check if it equals to approved. This mask will be called isApproved. This is a Boolean mask which says either true or false. It creates one column. If the state of the transaction is approved, then the value of that column will be true. Instead of true or false, we want this column to be integer. So we take the mask isApproved and we convert it to integer. Next, we want to add a mask where we have the transaction amount only if the transaction is approved. If the transaction is not approved, the value will be 0. We take the value from the amount column and we fill this new column with the amount only where the Boolean mask is approved. Otherwise, the value is 0. And this new column will be called approved total amount. Now that we have all additional columns and masks, we group by month and country and we aggregate using a dictionary mapping. We take our transactions and we group by month and country. Now the aggregation section. This is very similar to SQL Solution. First, we count all transactions. The same as in SQL, we count the IDs. We count the IDs in each group. Then we count only approved transactions in each group. We take the column that we created, and in this case, in case of count, we use the function sum, because this column gives us 0 and 1 values, so we summarize all ones. Next, we calculate the transactions total amount. We look at the column amount and we add all values in each group. And the last column that we need is the total amount of all approved transactions within each group. Here we use the approved total amount, and we also use the function sum. And here's the thing, it will add all values within each group where the transaction is approved. Those transactions that are not approved have the value 0. So if you add 0, nothing happens. You still have the total amount of only approved transactions. And this is our result. Now we are ready to return the result. Don't forget to check all the parentheses, and let's run the code. And we successfully solved this problem in Python Pandas. Which syntax did you prefer for this specific problem? Group by and case when statement in the select statement in SQL, or conditional masking, group by and aggregation in Python Pandas? Let me know in the comments.